We finally unpacked just about all of our moving boxes in the new house, so now the next step is to finally decorate my pin room. My office here is pretty much a transplant of my office for my apartment, with just a slight difference to the layout. So I think I'm gonna be able to keep my pin display relatively similar to how it was before. But I think I'm gonna try and constrain pins to this one wall that's right behind me. So now I have a huge box of pins wrapped in bubble wrap to take out, and I have all these cork boards to put on the wall. I think I'm gonna get the cork boards hung up first where I want them, since it's a bit easier to get the hangers in the wall before you have all the pins on them. But once I have them situated, I'm gonna take them back off to get all the new pins on them. And since I have my pins all nicely wrapped and packaged up, I think I'm going to try and count them all as I take them out. So now is the time to get started with finally putting together my pin room. Alright, so now I have all my larger pin boards mounted where I want them. Can't see it with this shot, but the ceiling here is actually angled upwards, so I couldn't really easily measure down where to nail the holes in the wall. And I tend with kind of putting things up to do a little bit more trial and error than measuring. But now at least we have all the base for where things are going to go, so that once I do have the pins on there, I can just easily put them on their fixtures. I still have all of my small circular little pin boards to put up, but those just go up with push pins, and I kind of want to see where exactly I want to put them. There is quite a substantial amount of space above here. I also have right here that there's some space for pin boards. So I'll kind of see what things are looking like. But now it's time to open up my box of pins, start to unbubble wrap everything, and then count and see how many there are. So based on my camera running through all of that, it took a little bit over an hour to totally take everything out of the bubble wrap and unpack it, but here are all the pins. That's also the massive pile of Mickey pin backs. In total here on the floor right now are 464 Disney pins, plus 6 extras, so like fantasy pins or a cast member bolo lanyard. I also do have a few more pins in my Eda bag and then also a framed set. So the total number of Disney pins in my collection is 499, And then if you want to add the 6 fantasy pins or extras, that brings it up to 505. So these do not include any of my trading pins, since my trading pins change out pretty frequently. This is everything that stays in my own collection. Now comes the fun and probably even longer part of getting everything back up on their cork boards and figuring out how I want to display things, if I want to reconfigure anything. I'm going to do that off camera since that's going to take a little time and maybe a little bit of a prolonged process. But I'll check back in once my pin room is totally put back together so I can give a little bit of a tour of it and a bit of a tour of the whole office. It is the next day and I've finally finished putting all of my pins away and organizing my office. It may have taken a little bit of time to get everything unpacked and put all the way together, but that also means it's kind of fun time to play with my pins, see how I want to rearrange things. And I collect them for a reason, so I like to look at them and display them. I don't think I'm going to keep up with counting every single new pin that comes into my collection. I don't really have the desire to keep a firm catalog of everything, since I use Pinpicks and that's pretty much where I have all my pins cataloged. But in terms of current hard numbers as of this date, it's 499 authentic Disney pins, and with a few fantasy pins and extras, that brings it up to 505. My traders are, of course, an additional number of pins, but I don't ever really track the number of traders I have on hand since obviously I'm trading them. But now it's finally time to show what my whole office and pin room setup looks like here. I'm just going to give a general overview of my pin boards because I'm actually getting really close to 5,000 subscribers. And when I hit that milestone, I wanted to give a whole video tour of my entire Disney pin collection. So I wanted to save the in-depth going through of all my pins for that. But this at least will be a look of my entire Disney office and pin room and craft room. Before I start the tour, I wanted to give a brief formal introduction and welcome to Celix. This is my boyfriend's kitty cat. He is the big, floofy, crazy ginger I've been talking about. Right now he's looking very sleepy, but normally he's a very, very energetic cat. Especially in the mornings, he loves to follow Micah around and bother her. But he's very much a people person. He loves his pets. Micah always comes to me when I film, but I had to chase Big Man around to find him. But Celix says, hello everybody! So starting from the doorway, this is just a little overview of what my office area looks like. It's just one of the spare bedrooms, so it works well for all of my needs. So on the door I have this I Drive Mickey head sign and my Ravenclaw banner. Those I previously had behind my door, but I wanted to put them on the front here. And then I have my cute little Hong Kong Disneyland tote, and inside I have my Christmas and Halloween pins on corkboard since I just put those out seasonally. Behind the door I put my heart-shaped corkboard, and that has all of my non-Disney pins, so that's all the pins for my travels and my Cub Spring training pins. Then on this wall here is where I have my DIY Disney wall canvases. They help to fill the space pretty nicely, and I'm super happy with how they turned out. I have the same setup of the side table and same exact futon as before. That right now is underneath the window. I have this framed Mickey print. I previously had this in my bedroom, and this has been in my family for years, so I thought this would be good having it in a fully Disney space. Got some decorative little lights above the shades, and then my old Illinois license plate. I have the next kind of matching Mickey artwork and print, so I can almost get them in one shot, how I have them framing the window there together. In this little corner, I have some of my travel tchotchkes on display. I love tchotchkes as souvenirs. I have a whole bunch more on my bookshelf in the guest bedroom. Those are some from my Europe trip in high school. And then, of course, some minerals, other little miscellaneous ones. And on the bottom there, I have my cute little Finding Dory cuddling otters nestled amongst the rocks. Same exact cheap IKEA bookshelf-ish thing as before. I decided to hang my burger pass holder bag on there since I really wanted to display that in my Disney room. And then we start with some of these small pin boards here. So I decided to put my Rescuers and my Geology and Earth Science pin on these larger boards. And then those up there are my DFTBA pins. So those are non-Disney pins, but I do get that with a monthly pin subscription. My sweets and snacks pins are on the same corkboard as before, but I put them above this little organization unit. I have actually a new desk here. My super cheap desk that I'd been using before from Target got broken in the move. So this one is an equally cheap desk from IKEA. It's actually larger, so I can do some real work here. I have my super cute Zootopia figurine that is from Shanghai Disneyland. I have my Pandora Floating Mountains mug. I have some candles, pen holder, Yzma and Kronk Funko Zootopia book, more candles, pens, and this is a calendar that I am in love with. It is a Disney food themed calendar, and it's from the Disney Store Japan that I got in a Tokyo Kawaii Club mailer. Then of course right above the desk, my Museum of Pintiquities framed pins. And then right above there I have my two largest cork boards. These are pretty close to the same as before. I took a few pins off these to put on some smaller pin boards to try and make room, since obviously you're always getting new pins, so you always need to find some room for them. I have my metal castle print there like before, just below my Zootopia pin board. I'm really excited that I now have the little matching Nick Game Prize pin from Hong Kong Disneyland. Then right above there we have my attractions pin board. And then above all that I have these small pin boards. These are actually just cork trivets from IKEA, but I just added a little hanger onto it and they work perfect for small collections. So I have a board here of just a number of miscellaneous things. I've got Lilo and Stitch on this one, Beauty and the Beast is on this one, some more miscellaneous on this one, and then I have this blank one because I know I'm probably going to have to expand soon and I'll find some new pins to put on there. I have my Cubs World Champions banner up there, and then above here is actually this really cute Mickey's Summer Camp banner. This was part of the Target line. I think it was $5, and I thought it would be perfect as a little extra decoration. I again have my really cool Mickey Mouse clock from when I was a kid. And then I also again have displayed my handmade lollipop ears there. And then I kind of use the closet space as an extension of the room for storage things. I have my Mickey Memories plush and mug there, Walt Disney World postcard and fake succulent. And then I have both of my Eda bags on a shelf there. Some more miscellaneous pin stuff down there. Just sweaters, extension of the closet. I have my handmade Russell Halloween costume from a few years ago. Some little displays with Zootopia figurines. Behind there are my Geology fancy display glasses, and then my super cool Mickey ears visor shades. That's just part of my craft organization. And then I finally got a little bit more of a real storage unit for my ear crafting supplies and also some of my pin mail supplies. I have some of my ears that I've rolled out. They're drying out right now. I'm a little bit peeved at the moment. I've seen there are a number of people who are selling ears based on my DIY on Etsy, which, you know, is fine. I can't stop people from doing that, but I found one and they basically essentially just totally plagiarized my listing description. Every single aspect of it is like exactly copied and the same with only minor verbiage changes. And it's like, if you're going to take my DIY that I created, like at least come up with your own unique listing description. But it's just frustrating if someone's trying to profit from both your idea and your words. And then above here, I have some bag storage. I really like Vera Bradley bags. Just about all that stuff comes from the Vera outlet. And then we have my field backpack up there. I think I'd like to create some sort of curtain to cover that up since it's a little bit unsightly. And I also might want to put a little curtain on top where all the bags are, since I want to keep the room a pretty decently nice aesthetic and functional display. Well, thank you for joining me for both my pin packing up and unpacking process. It's nice to finally have all my pins back where they belong, and I can get back to filming some more regular videos. I'm gonna have to work to come up with ideas and pre-film quite a bunch because beginning of July, I'm going to California on vacation and we're stopping at Disneyland for about 3 days. I mean, it's barely 3 days. It's 1 full day and 2 half days, but I'm gonna milk it for all it's worth. So that'll be super fun and I cannot wait for that. But thanks for watching.